completely ignoring the fact that this world is filled with uniforms and outfits that can enhance your bodily power tenfold, if not greater, and a really quite harmful class-based system where those of the lower rungs of society are seen little more than insects. There's quite a few colourful characters, and each one has a very peculiar and distinct theme surrounding them. We've seen a troop leader, a boxer, some gardeners, I'll try that word again, and I'm sure we'll meet quite a few more. But to do that, we need to actually sit down and watch. So strap yourself in, get ready for some extensive exercise. Let's see more Kill la Kill. What did he do now? We can okay, fair enough. We can be pretty sure that he did something. But seeing that she found out that he has a connection with him. How did she just stumble across a photo of them together that... They somehow all came up with the evidence she needed. I guess the payment really was worth it. With his glasses on, it really subdues his personality. But when they come off, we know all holds barred. I believe she is actually entitled to a little bit more understanding as to the forces at large. I would like to know that. And what exact power does the teacher hold? What? Nudist beach. Just leave the office. But he's not lying, though. She got the answers that she asked for. Maybe if it was less ludicrous, then she'd believe it. What? What was that music just now? What is the goals of this nudist beach? I think we've definitely been given a brief kind of overview, but at the same time, there's like, is there any group of people who don't care about the god robes in some form or other? I think the greatest question to be asked is Mako ever going to understand that Yoko isn't just talking to herself, and the outfit is sentient? I am looking forward to when the upper echelons of the school are thrown out onto the battlefield, though. We've seen the 2 stars at work, and they aren't really much of a challenge. Drums. Drums in the darkness. Sewing club. How do they come across these life fibers? And can the fibers themselves be mass-produced? So they are a delicate balance of quantity over quality, and vice versa. The fact that his clothing opens and closes every time that he tries to talk, I'm surprised he hasn't ever actually accidentally caught his tongue or anything in it. Fascinating and slightly intriguing. Yep, that is definitely one way you can describe the school. Is there any particular reason why his outfit has to open and close? It's a large shower. Did that outfit try to forcibly take itself off of the wall? Good butler. He knows his place. And don't underestimate a teacup. Are we getting it? Did the aspect ratio change just to show us the 3 years ago flashback? Was that him? A leader of delinquents? I appreciate the style and the music to accompany this scene. They just stuck her head on a smaller body. She hasn't really changed much. And they called her Dragonborn. She hasn't done anything other than just stand there. What do you mean you've seen through her? The same line that she just used. Well, I guess this was maybe the first time she uttered it. After being so utterly defeated, seeking to get stronger under the influence of her probably isn't a bad idea. Or the worst idea. Was there need to destroy the teacup, though? So, if he has now grown enough to defeat her middle school self, I guess that's good. Yeah, she spilled that tea. much Chinaware does she go through on a day-to-day business? Oh. Another figure. I guess you can't get anywhere in this world if you're not extremely influential, charismatic, or just odd. I do like her Dare the Dead style hat. One of the things that I have already not fallen in love with, but really appreciate with Kill la Kill is the fact of how just it doesn't give a crap about a lot of the characters. Like, most of the background people are just single sprites that are just moved on a single frame. So he's a Digimon. Any particular reason why he went full defense mode with that? I appreciate the slimmed down version of the transformation sequence. It was a mirage! So, retractable kendo blades in his forearms. Huh? Gotta go fast. I think he's having a seizure. So he's like a thousand eyes. Can't remember the other name for them. Okay, so can he notice the... I can't remember what they're called, but the minute, almost unnoticeable facial muscles that get pulled when you... that you're not even aware of. That was a poor description. Okay, I thought he was about to fire them from like shoulder mounted cannons, not just get nail extensions. Since she has been so utterly one-sidedly defeated there, what is she going to pull out now? An all-or-nothing attack. It usually works out. Was that her own sword, Kai? So that was what was meant. If he can't see, then he can't... he can't predict her movements. Wow, that was a few fibers in there. Yeah, there wasn't the greatest fight, what we could have expected from a 3-star one of the 4 divas. Especially since most of those that were watching are still standing. I see the teacher there, yep. So he's over-reliance on using his foresight to predict everything. As soon as that was taken away, he didn't know what to do. I fear that Sengetsu is going to become an iron fetishist. Are we going to... Are we going to get the story behind the missing eye? Just ignore it, pretend to be asleep. Is this going to be like the birth of, like, Frankenstein's monster? Was the explanation she gave satisfactory? Okay, but not many others get a second chance at... Oh, shit. His over-reliance on his eyes, it not showing us his face. Ah, shit. For a second there, I thought she was cleaning her teeth with a toilet brush. Don't know why. Has he turned himself into Kenshi? From Mortal Kombat, if you didn't know. She defeated him once. To be given a second 3-star robe? They must be getting some good data from this fight. To risk powering her up slightly. Did you not think that he wouldn't challenge you with the same thing twice? He wouldn't come up with some kind of countermeasure. The fact that she could see that through the little slits there. Couldn't he just wear a blindfold? I guess as proof to her that he's learned his lesson, sure, but... Is it reversible? How much training has he gone through? Because it wouldn't be quite so easy to go into a new fighting style with no extra practice. Oh, he's Daredevil now. Okay. So what's going to be the deciding factor in defeating him this time, though? Is she going to get behind him? The one thing he couldn't do before. Wow, he planted a moron. Is it... Ah. Finding a way to always return the weapon to her would be quite useful. Or... basically turning into Kratos with the Chaos Blades. But even with something kind of out of the ordinary, that wasn't enough to get past him. Yeah, it definitely seems that way. He ran out of juice. Add water cooling. Yeah, it wasn't a defeat this time. Yeah, actually, she got very lucky this time. But quite a lot of the interaction she has somehow is a factor of luck behind it. We haven't actually seen her go through any grueling training or attempts to get stronger. And the fact that he was using his extendable kendo sticks and it sounded like bullet casings firing. Huh. He looks like a Ninja Turtle. Still thinks he went a bit too far. As long as she doesn't smash any more cups. It's been a few hours at most. I'm sure people who can't see can still drink tea. At least just wait for it to cool down. I mean, this is practically cold now. Do the other 3 stars and the other members of the divas have that kind of resolve to cut away at themselves, to remove the ailing and failing parts? And despite the fact that, she is fighting to find her father's killers and everything, we haven't really seen her do any kind of detective work. She's just, it must have something to do with the queen of the school. I'm going to go after her. And you're showing us her face? Oh no. You're really showing us the god of this world. I know there are some organisations, take the Yakuza for instance, who, when a underling has failed, they cut off a section of their fingers. I believe if any of them took the time and went, you know what, I purposefully blinded myself, I think there's anyone that's going to be like, oh, impressive. It's going to be like, you're a fucking idiot. There's a few of my senses that I could probably lose and not be particularly perturbed by it. Smell, taste, maybe even my hearing. But sight? No. That's one of the things that I really quite need. But she really was not ready for the powered up diva 3-star member of the school, was she? Maybe she should, go around and strip a few more students. I'm sure she can get the experience and life fibre she needs from that. Hopefully I don't need to reiterate at any point not to attempt anything like this in reality, because clothing doesn't do that. You'll basically just get arrested. And now that the mother of the school's queen has found out, oh, you put on your wedding dress? What's going on? Is she going to have any influence on the proceedings? And despite being British, I don't actually have any proper china teacups. I've just got mugs. Maybe I should actually purchase some so I can have that air of pomposity. Although, much like what we saw in this, I'd probably just end up accidentally breaking them. So, not a good idea. If you enjoyed this episode, please let me know in the comment section or by leaving a like on the video. And of course, now as of ever, if you decide to subscribe to my channel, I would be very, very thankful for it. YouTube hasn't been too kind recently. But with that said, there is always that underlying thread of mystery and heartbreak to Kill la Kill. Unfortunately, it doesn't really seem to be investigating it. Maybe we'll remember that plot thread and circle back. Time will tell. So get some rest. Perhaps. I'll see you there. If you want to be the enhanced hearing to the struggle in the dark that is my channel, then consider joining onto my Patreon. So far, Sal, Raywin, Electric Ant, Dynamite 1997, Shiwan, Jennifer Rojas, Mecha, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899, Yuki Ali and everyone else have elevated my abilities to that of an average human, and all it cost me was my dignity.